everybody, Backyard Bullion here. So today I want to talk about currencies, and as you may have guessed from the giant pile of euros that I have on the table here, I want to talk about euros, and more specifically their relation to the pound and the exchange rate, and talk about my first kind of foray into currency trading, which this giant pile of cash represents for me. Now before I continue, I just want to put that little disclaimer out there again that I'm not a financial expert, I'm not an investment guru, I'm just a dude who likes to buy gold and silver and experiment with my money. So any decisions that you guys make having watched this video are yours and yours alone, and I would highly recommend that you go and do a lot of research into this area before you jump into doing any kind of currency trading if you are so inclined. So with that disclaimer out the way, this pile of euros here there's 1500 here, and this represents for me the kind of first foray into currency trading that I've ever done. I bought these euros pre-Brexit, so I bought them in May 2016 when the exchange rate was about 1.3, I think something like that. I've got it written down somewhere. I think I got 1.31 or something for these. But today the exchange rate is 1.09, so huge shift in value for the euro over the last year and a bit, and I think it's an absolutely fascinating topic. Now I bought these specifically because at the time Brexit was looking quite unlikely. It was looking very much like the vote wouldn't happen in the favour of Brexit, and things would kind of continue just as normal. And for me at the time I was buying a lot of gold and silver from Europe, and I felt that me buying in pounds converting to euros, if the Brexit didn't happen, then I would basically continue on as I am, and that would be fine, and if anything the pound might get a little stronger and I'd have a bit more buying power, so all the pounds in my bank account would be protected. But at the same time there were a lot of people out there recommending that perhaps you could hedge your bets a little bit, and if the exchange rate took a dive after a Brexit vote happened, that you could potentially either freeze some money at a certain level, or you could flip your euros and actually make some money in the short term. So I decided that it would be kind of a win-win for me to buy some euros, which is what I did, and certainly I could have flipped these pretty quickly after the vote and made some money, but I decided to hold on to them for the longer term just to see what would happen. So I have, and this is kind of the time which I wanted to share with you some interesting facts and figures about them, and more interestingly I wanted to compare them against gold and silver. This is after all a coin and gold and silver channel, so I've got here a 1 ounce gold Britannia, and what I find fascinating, you've got a 1 ounce gold Britannia there, we've got a whole wodge of cash, which is, to be honest, a little bit more than an ounce of gold would have been, but we'll just take out a few of these 20s and then we're all set. And then you compare that with what the equivalent would be in silver, and you've got these two giant boxes of silver forum bars which I've been making. Now if you don't know what these are, go and check over the silver forum and you can find out more about those. But in here there's 3 kilos, just over 3 kilos of silver, and that's kind of the equivalent. So it's fascinating, compared with, gosh they're heavy, compared with silver, how dense gold is and how valuable gold is, and compared with currencies. But anyway, now what is really interesting is when you compare how these investments have done over the last kind of year and a bit with gold and silver. And to that end I've got a whole bunch of figures. Now you'll have to bear with me because I'm going to write them out for you because I think it's an absolutely fascinating topic. So basically in May 2016 when I bought these, let's have May 16, let's have today. So in May 2016 the price of gold was £8.50 an ounce, and today the price of gold is £1,000 an ounce. Now these are just rough estimates, guys, they're not the exact numbers, it's just to make the maths a lot easier, but they're roughly right. The price of silver back in 2016 was £11.50, and today it is sitting around the £13.20 an ounce. So where was I going to go? So basically I've got 1500 euros here. Now I don't want to use 1500 euros because that would end up with a really weird pound figure, so what I'm going to do is have £1,000. So if you've got £1,000, that is going to equal, at the current exchange rate back in 2016, you've got 1.3 pounds to euro. That would get you 1,300 euros. It would get you 86.95 ounces of silver. No, I'm not that good at maths. I have these written down to one side, and it would get you 1.17 ounce of gold. Now, if we had those numbers here and we take them over here, so we've got the euro to pound exchange rate of 1.09. Now, if we take that over here and we take the 1,300 euros, that turns into £1,192.66, which is pretty good. You can see the difference there. You turned £1,000 into 1,192 euros, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, how about gold though? So gold, well, let's do silver because it's next in line. So 86.95 ounces of silver is going to turn into £1,147.74. So you can see less than euros. Let's write those there so we can remember. And then the equivalent of gold, that's an easy calculation, we're going to get £1,170 of gold. So you can see there that the euro, the exchange rates for the euros have vastly outstripped, well, I say vastly, I mean it's considerably better, it's 20 quid more, which is a little bit, but not a great deal. But at the same time, precious metals are meant to be the ones which preserve your wealth, preserve your buying power. You know, they're meant to be the ones which hedge against the value of currencies. So it's very interesting that over the last year and a bit, we've seen, you know, that basically euros has been the investment of choice compared with precious metals, which I find absolutely fascinating. But you've got to remember that is all relative. So I've got the same numbers written down, but from November 2015 to today. Now, November 2015 is an interesting date because that's the absolute peak of the euro in recent years that we've seen. It was 1.42, I think, at the time. So here you can see £9.30 an ounce for silver, £7.10 an ounce for gold. Oh, we wish those prices were still in existence. Gosh, those were the days. This was actually just when I started buying gold and silver at the first time, so I've actually got some lovely silver coins in my stack, which I bought for those prices. Absolutely gorgeous, but you can't see those anymore. Anyway, same £1,000 gets you 107 ounces of silver, 1.4 ounces of gold, or 1,420 euros. Now today, those same numbers that we've used before, plugged in, will equal £1,419 worth of silver, £1,400 worth of gold, or £1,302 worth of euros. So you can see in this particular calculation, only going back an additional, what, 6-7 months, that euros have gold and silver have vastly outperformed euros, which is, I think, even more interesting considering the exchange rate of, you know, the euro to the pound was even higher than it was when I bought my euros that are sitting on the table here. So I think that's absolutely fascinating. I think perhaps that indicates, you know, gold and silver really are, you know, that they're a good way of holding that wealth. It also maybe suggests that gold and silver were quite considerably undervalued at that particular time in history. You know, these are all just my own thoughts, guys, so I could be wrong. Do correct me if you think that I'm not right about those assumptions, but, you know, I think it's an absolutely fascinating topic. Do please comment in this video what your thoughts are when relating to kind of currency exchanges. The really interesting decision to come now is what I'm going to do with this pile of euros. You know, is it a good time to sell them? Do you think that it's worth selling them right now? Do you think it's worth holding on to them for another couple of years or months to see what happens with the exchange rate? Obviously, you know, it's an interesting topic as well because I'm constantly buying stuff from Europe in euros, obviously, with pounds. So now when I buy something from, say, goldsilver.be, I'm using pounds and I'm getting a much worse exchange rate than perhaps these euros are. So should I cash these in and use those, or should I hold on to these and keep them as a separate kind of, you know, little nest egg investment? You know, it's very interesting how different people will hold different things in different ways, and, you know, compartmentalize different investments and hold them separately. And that's kind of what I've done with these euros at this moment in time. Whether or not that's the wise thing to do, I don't know. So do share your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section below. If you like this video, please put a thumbs up on it and share it around on your social media. I think it's a really interesting topic, so if you could share it around, that would be very good. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got In Focus Fridays on Fridays, we've got handful silver updates coming over the weekend, so make sure that you hit that little alarm bell and then you'll get notifications when I upload future videos. Otherwise, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody for watching, and please make sure that you like, share, comment and subscribe for more.